Morning. Today I'm going to talk about Noah, found in the Bible, Genesis chapter 6 and 7, and all around it's talking about an amazing guy. He lived in a world that was known for its wickedness, its sins, its heartaches, and people just were free to do whatever they want, they thought, without a God, and they lived their life as they wanted to. But it was a result of that was total immorality, total sadness and crime, and it was just sick and sad. And the Bible talks about Noah. He decided to not compromise with the world. Have you ever been tempted to compromise in this day and age because everybody else is doing it? You know, everybody else is doing it, therefore it's okay if I do it. Nobody really know. I still go to church, but when we start compromising, and what I've learned as I ride on airplanes, that as I look over the shoulders of people sitting beside me or across the aisle or up and around, and as I go to the restroom, I'm looking, everybody's watching some kind of a movie. Not everyone, but probably 90% of the people. And the things that they're watching is something I wouldn't want to ever watch and pollute my mind. Because by beholding, we become changed. Whatever you look at, whoever you associate with, it's going to rub off. It will affect your thinking and your behavior. It'll affect your relationship with God and with other people. And if you feed on garbage, you're going to become garbage yourself. But Noah was in that day and age when everybody else was doing wickedness in the worst sense of the word. And he chose to have a relationship with God. It tells us in that chapter 6 at the end, it said he not only walked with God, but he found grace with God. Noah found grace in the presence of God. Would you like God's grace, which means God's favors, his blessings, his gifts and his miracles to be a part of your life, which will completely give you an upper edge than the people who do not go to God, because their minds will go in a direction of what they associate with or think, but we're thinking about God, we're thinking about heaven, we're thinking about living even if we make a mistake or a sin, we go to him and confess it to God. We go to somebody else and there's not this junk of bitterness or regrets between our relationship with other people. Noah walked with God. Noah received the grace of God. God kept giving him what it took. And so God asked him to build an ark. Then Noah went to his sons and says, would you like to help me build this ark? It's going to take a long time. And even those boys, because of the influence of Noah, they decided to walk with Noah and work with Noah, and they got on that boat with Noah, with their spouses. So the influence that we have in this decadent day and age in which we're living is something that can influence those people. You may not be in their home, but they're talking. These people, they don't do this and they don't do that, and they seem to be happier, and they go to church, and we don't know. But by and large, when we start walking with God and receiving God's grace every day, we're going to have an influence on our children and our grandchildren and our neighbors and our relatives, just like Noah did. I want my children to be in the kingdom, don't you? His example allowed those boys and those families to be in the ark, to be saved. I want my people, my friends and neighbors and my family to be saved. Why don't we walk with God, and why don't we receive his grace? And it'll make all the difference in our lives and theirs.